trade season is officially underway, folks. Welcome into Bad for Baseball, the baddest baseball podcast on the internet, presented by Betway. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog, joined alongside by Adam Peddle. We are getting some legitimate official trade rumor surfacing right now. None of these, ridiculous clickbait articles. No, this is actually legit stuff that's happening. Teams are shopping. Teams are looking to buy. We're going to get into all of that and more. But before we do, hit the like, smash the subscribe button, and of course, let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. First things first, let's start with Luis Severino. Honestly, one of the biggest acquisitions from I was about to say Oakland Athletics. Not Oakland Athletics, just Athletics, or if you're going to call them anything, I guess Sacramento Athletics. But looks like in his first year, could get moved.
Yeah, Luis Severino signed that 3-year deal, and this was an attempt for them to not lose their first-round pick, so congrats on that. But Severino is not happy. Let's break down exactly what's going on right here. So, this was a thing by Bob Nightingale right here. I believe it was an article that this article is pulling from, basically saying the A's are open to trading righty Luis Severino. Now, this has come right after Severino openly talked about the poor conditions at Sacramento. Here's the quote right here on Baseball Trade Rumors. It says, "We don't have a home right now." He says, "It's not the same. It's not the same atmosphere. We don't have a lot of fans. Our clubhouse is in left field, so on day games, we're just sitting in the sun. There's no air conditioning. It's really tough." So once he came out with that, the A's were like, "No, we're done with you now. If you don't like it here, you can get the hell out of here." First initial thoughts when you just hear him openly talking about the stadium like that, because he signed there, wouldn't he know that they're playing in Sacramento that year? What's your thoughts?
Well, he might know that they're playing in Sacramento, but he might not know necessarily how bad or exactly what the conditions are going to be like. I mean, nobody had ever played there before, until
in MLB
right now. In the MLB, yeah, but until now, obviously. So, and I would anticipate as well, if you're the Athletics and you're trying to sell this guy on it, you're not going to be like, "Oh yeah, we don't have any air conditioning," and "Oh yeah, we don't have anywhere for you to sit," or "We don't," you know what I mean? It's like you're going to be selling him the good parts of it. So I would anticipate that, he could have anticipated maybe it wasn't the best spot, but obviously in reality, it's probably worse than he expected.
Mm-hmm. And money will always talk too, right? If the A's are offering him the most, then all right, let's go to the A's.
Exactly. Now, we did look at the splits, and there is something to what he's saying, or at least how he responds to the Sacramento field. Away, he's actually really, really good. He's got a 3.23 ERA and 47.1 innings, so that is a solid pitcher right there. You could even make the argument that that is an ace. At home, he is god-awful terrible. He's got a 6.79 ERA over 57 innings. Is this a coincidence? Is this, what? Is it because of what he's saying? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. Clearly, he thinks it is. I do think that with a split that dramatic, something is coming into play.
Yeah, I think we kind of knew it was happening. I mean, right now it's summer now. It is officially summer. July is literally tomorrow, and we all knew that in Sacramento it is hot as hell. I mean, it gets over 100 degrees on any given night in the middle of the summer. Baseballs fly further in that park. The fences are shorter in that park, and you're right. I have terrible conditions. I'm out there for 15 minutes. If I get some base runners on, I'm out there for 20, 30. I am hot. I am sweating. I'm not focused. My command's all over the place. I could believe that the ballpark has a lot of factors to do with it, man. That's why you see Arizona, they got a dome, and other kind of stadiums around California, they have a big dome. They got AC, so I believe it. And if I'm another team looking at Severino, I'm going to take that into consideration. You played at a shitty ballpark, but on the way with AC and everything that you need, you're pretty damn good.
Yeah. If ultimately, again, if they're buying into the away stats, then I think that this is definitely something that teams will be interested in. Now, he is on a 3-year deal, I'm pretty sure, so he'll be a free agent, not this year, not next year, the year following that. So after, 2027. So you'd have a lot of control with him. Granted, there is money attached to that. So it all depends on, how comfortable the buyer is in locking up somebody for that long and on that contract. But he is 31 years old, and if you're buying into the away splits, then you can start to convince yourself that, okay, like this actually could be somebody that we could get behind.
Yeah, and overall, you could really, get a discount on this guy. That's a 5.18 ERA right there. Like, you could really be like, hey, well, he's overall not that good. How am I going to know that he's, not going to be dynamite when he's at home in our ballpark? You could really get a discount. And again, with the money attached, if you're a big market team, well, I got to take on all this money. You could almost get Luis Severino for, I don't want to say practically nothing, but a really cheap deal.
That's what I mean. I do believe like you don't need to give a top prospect for this guy.
No.
You might not even need to give any prospect for this guy, to be honest. Like they will probably let go of that contract very easily. And from the athletic standpoint, I mean, I get why he says some negative things about you. You just want to get him gone. I think honestly, for their standpoint, they're probably thinking to themselves, hey, we could use this as an excuse to cut away some salary right here, and nobody will be the wiser. But honestly, I hope that they take into consideration what it is that he just said and realize, all right, like, let's get a move on here, because this was a fun experiment, but we don't want to spend that many years in Sacramento.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is, like, they're gonna spend a few more years in Sacramento until they can get Las Vegas or any other city locked down to this point. Because after hearing that, if I'm a free agent, like, why the hell would I ever want to go sign there unless you're paying me out of my ass?
Yeah,
So
honestly, from the athletic standpoint, they probably just want to save as much money as possible for this year and years to come. Let's transition and talk about the other rumor that we got going on right now. Is that the Houston Astros are looking to buy, and they are looking to buy Cedric Mullins. Now, in the early parts of this season, Mullins was definitely one of the most talked about names as potentially getting moved. Since then, he started to fall off a little bit. He's actually got a negative WAR, which is kind of wild considering he has an OPS plus of 101. So clearly the defense isn't great. But the Houston Astros, you look at their lineup right now, and even though like they are winning a lot of ball games, they have a lot of things that are going right for them, the lineup could definitely be deeper.
Yeah, I mean, look at their injuries right now in terms of the outfield. You've got a lot of guys. Jacob Melton, Chas McCormick, Pedro Leon, obviously Yordan Alvarez can play outfield. They're all in the IL. Those are 4 outfielders. And when you look at the guys in their starting lineup, they're decent guys having good years right now. And the OPS is around the 700s. I mean, hell, like even this guy Cooper Hummel, never heard of this guy, 149 at bats, has an OPS of 808. But after that, I mean, you can clearly see the bench needs a lot of help. Not a lot of guys coming off there helping that team. And you know what? The fact that they're doing as well as they're doing, leading the AL West, and they've had a lot of injuries, especially Yordan Alvarez, right? That's their star guy. Obviously, Kyle Tucker, so you really needed Yordan to be there, and he hasn't been lately. So the fact that they're on the division is good. They just need to add a little bit of depth in that outfield. They got to address some other areas too, of course, but if you can just go add Cedric Mullins, come off the bench, maybe you don't need him to play defense. Come off the bench, pinch hit, whatever it might be. DH, I don't care. Go play and be another bat in that lineup.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're like the Houston Astros have been probably the best squad in baseball in the last decade. I know there was a scandal and everything, but just the best squad in general when it comes to getting the best out of their current players. I mean, like they turned Jeremy Pena into an absolute stud, and their pitching staff is like top tier, incredible, which is obviously leading them to have this good of a record. And they're just like good at everything. Good at everything. That's Houston. They're good at everything. Even when they lose guys in the offseason, new guys emerge. But Cedric Mullins, to me, is one of those individuals where, honestly, I believe if he went over to the Houston Astros, they could find a way to unlock or to recapture some of that magic that he had in Baltimore, last year and years prior, because he was a very, very talented offensive player in his own right at certain junctures of his career. Obviously, this year, not so much. But over there in Houston, I could believe him getting some of that back.
Yeah, for sure. And guys, if you want to go and if you believe in this Houston Astros team, you want to go make a bet on it, hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the details section to join the action. Yeah, Houston, like that's one of the teams we kind of forgot about in the AL because we've been talking about, of course, the Tigers. We've been talking about the Yankees for a little bit, and then AL East that's getting competitive again. But Houston just kind of cakewalked into a 50-win season so far, like one of the only few 50-win teams in the league. If you want them to win the World Series, if you want to really bet on it, 12 times your money. What are your thoughts on 12 times your money for the Houston Astros?
I think that they've done it before, and it's not impossible that they could do it again. I've been underrating them all year long because on paper, you look at them and it's like, okay, they're not as good as years past, and there are other teams out there that I do prefer on paper, but 50 wins is a lot of wins. That's like the second or third best record in all of baseball right now. So clearly they are getting it done. I know that bullpen is incredible. I know that they have enough of a starting rotation. They have their stud in Valdez. They have guys in there that could definitely handle a playoff, a playoff time rotation. Fuck it, honestly, it's actually, Houston, man.
It's actually not bad. Like, you were just talking about the rotation, like Colton Gordon, like where the fuck did this guy come from, right? Obviously, Josh Hader's being Josh Hader, Brian Abreu is being really good, but they have just contribution. Look at this lineup. That doesn't look like a Houston Astros lineup that like scares me, but you can tell it's just super deep with the OPS. So really, all they gotta do is like get a little bit deeper, get healthy, keep riding with that rotation. You're gonna be just fine.
Get a bit deeper, get Yordan Alvarez back, and like honestly, they will be perfectly fine. But folks, let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Please make sure to hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and we will catch you next time.
Cheers.